Sorry, usually when you bring up chat and you say the number 2, I always think of 2K, and then you said 2.5K, and I went, what?
Well, yeah, he's almost good enough to be a caster according to Quakeba.
According to Quakeba, there it is.
But thank you for that information. When I looked him up, like when people don't appear in like the first big tournament or like they don't appear as stand-ins, it's harder for us to get information on them. So, and we can't obviously watch every single match, so I do appreciate that. I don't think he's as good as the Monster stand-in. Monster I really hold in very, very high regard, but this means that they have a reliable carry to play around, which is very key to this strategy, because their whole strategy this game has been essentially carry Wage, right? You have the Pugna to give him healing, Wage will act as a tank and as a damage dealer. You have the Invoker Alacrity, Mars to cover him. They do have a solid draft. I think it's a really solid draft. But I find the CK to be a little bit better than Luna right now. Also, in our experience in South America, the way they've been dealing with Tiny has been very interesting. Obviously, Tiny being the highest tier of carry and the highest tier of carry you play around, the way they've been dealing with him has been just a plethora of stuns. So many stuns that carry Tiny doesn't feel as strong anymore, even with that resistance. So I think this strategy is being employed this game as well against the Luna.
Bring back craggy exterior.
No, please. It's just this is why I give a slight edge maybe to black and yellow overall, because I think the strategy has worked well for the team.
It's going to be 3 runes here, actually, as well for black and yellow.
Yeah, see,
CarJua is going to collect the 3rd. It is. One is in the bag from the Ghastly Eerie from this vantage point.
I am curious as to what Godsee is going to... I know he's I like his Skywrath Mage a lot. What we've seen in the league, he's been really impressive. A lot of good Skywrath Mages in North America. But against a Pugna, especially a Pugna support, a Skywrath Mage feels terrible to play. Because against a mid lane Pugna, at least you can burst him down quickly enough that you're like, well, I'll kill myself for the mid core, whatever. But when he's a support, it's like you're killing yourself for the other support. Not that big a deal. So we'll see.
Step lively now.
Good start for the first wave for P1. See how RL CS is under tower here with the Wex first level, of course, can go with no movement spells to avoid that EMP. Slight edge there for the Kunkka, as I think you'd expect, really. Melee heroes having a little bit of an easier time CSing, generally speaking. Plus it's Kunkka.
Usually, Kunkka against Quaswex Invoker wins until Invoker gets enough points to spam Tornado and EMP constantly. Even then, I think Kunkka does beat him because of the side camp that he can farm.
Lane. Yeah, he's got like no HP, 480, Sanctified chilling at a maximum of 300. You can't go less than 200, actually. So this is very low. Yeah, HP does have a floor, and well, he's gonna drop the squirrel to the floor there. Yeah, there's a floor of 200 HP and 100 mana.
Oh, that's good to know.
Remember the... Oh, okay, Tombstone. This is a little bit aggressive. They might get full, though. He's very low on the HP, but he's going to get one more stack of decay back, so he's going to be A-okay.
He probably used the mango over the stick that he had available to him. I wonder why he values the stick charges more.
More healing, right? Didn't really need the healing.
Well, I know, I get that part, but like... usually consumables... Well, maybe I'm wrong, but usually consumables are valued ever so slightly higher. So does that mean that if I'm playing in Silencer, by the way, I should pick heroes that have spells that cost all less than 100 mana? And that's the way to counter.
Well, remember there was that one Blitz and Cap clip from very old Dota, like well before 7.0 came out. And they were bullying this Troll Warlord, basically. Back when, well, actually, of course, Silencer still has that in Steel, but they just kept picking him off on the map, and they wanted to see how low his mana could get. But I think Troll's got like 115 mana cost back then on like the ulti.
Yeah, and he couldn't activate it.
Yeah.
There's a very famous clip of a Spanish caster who, actually the organizer of this DPC league currently, the top dog, who got killed so many times as Void that he couldn't activate his Chrono. And so his team kept flaming him because they use Chrono, but he couldn't because he literally didn't have the mana for it. So he bought Soul Ring to use the Chrono. It was really funny.
There it is.
Clever though.
Have to go with something like a Staff of Wizardry just to be able to get the int pool to do it. Yeah, it can be pretty difficult. Sanctified, of course, even with one decay stack, has got very little HP. Not a whole lot of strength on a squirrel, who would have thought.
Yep. So she is good at foraging for winter and running away from the Undying. So I think she's okay-ish. Like she got caught earlier because the decay level 1 is so powerful, but once you get enough levels to be able to push back the Undying, I don't think she'll die too much. She's not gonna kill the Undying, but she at least will keep him entertained somewhat. And that allows Vol to actually have a lane I mean, 18 last hits for being up against CK and Undying, that's pretty good. That's a really strong.
The battle lane to be an Undying in. So he's going to be eventually running a little bit shy here on his HP and mana. It feels good to use any health regen when you have fake strength, kind of like a Morphling, right? You don't want to use a stealth when you're max HP. Although there's another tombstone for full into the decay. Stick charges ain't going to be enough here. That last zombie will pick him off, and Sanctified even could be in for some trouble. No more mana though for braxiee. That should be Sanctified A-okay. Let's check it out the bottom. We haven't really talked about this lane too much. And here's Monster, the many so highly up. For the Scorpion, I guess.
I'm very excited to see his Sanking. You guys are in for it. Especially because I haven't gone to watch Monster in the current patch where Sanking is considered one of the strongest offlaners, right? And he was still playing Sanking last patch. True, true. He's just a good hero in general, right?
Yeah.
And Monster was playing a lot last patch to moderate success. I think his playstyle was really good, but the hero wasn't as strong. And now we're seeing Sanking having a lot of play. I'm considering him really high tier Sanking. This lane though is not a kill lane for them early because the Pugna stops the Scarif Mage from having an ultimate, like, wow, so much harassment. Once you get Mystic Flare though, yes, Luna will die or can die, but until that happens, the Pugna will keep the Scarif Mage in. He even went for Concussive Shot, as you can see, which is a build you don't see anymore, but it's a build that's good against Pugna because you spam less spells. And it's all about the slow and the auto attacks.
And eventually when that Nether Ward is maxed and you have a level 2 even Mystic Flare, you end up doing, of course, all that damage back to you. So we'll kind of look forward. I always kind of look forward to that interaction, right? It's much like playing Nyx Assassin versus an OD and reflecting one of his ultimates back at him. You can get in lots of ridiculous damage pretty much.
It just feels really bad. I mean, I don't know, you never played Dota. Back when the Scarif Mage in Dota 1, it was considered cheating if you picked Pugna against. Like, the people would insult you for it. I've seen people leave over it in one, because, like, the idea is that this hero is such a nuisance to play against the Scarif Mage.
Yeah, but people left over everything in Dota 1, because you could just, like, leave.
No, you couldn't just leave. Not the back when Scarif Mage was added. There were already, like, the custom lobbies and stuff like that.
Just be dead top lane, good body blocks. There's no more regen for the Undying. And he said, well, he's going to use the wand actually. He's going to go even dive in. The kill's actually onto God C mid lane as mother of all dives here. Another decay, and they will get that kill. As for the 6-minute power room, they had sensed that the squirrel was missing, had gone mid. And, well, it's going to go well, very, very well, actually, for Black and Yellow.
Top tower is under attack.
What's exciting is, the spear, right? The please leave me alone, guys. Just like get off my back. It wasn't even a spear meant to do anything. It was just like out of frustration that they're diving in that hard. Nobody can TP over to the Mars, of course. It was just a very tough lane for him, and CarJua is getting what you'd expect from a CK in the lane. That said, though, in last hits, Vol's doing a great job. Even if he's died a couple of times, so obviously the CK's net worth is still pretty high. Vol at least managed to get decent last hits in the lane, and the CK has been forced to engage into a lot of fights, which means his net worth is actually slightly below the Luna's, which shouldn't be happening with this many kills. Nature of the CK. You kind of have to decide whether you want to kill the enemy hero or you want to win your lane.
Pretty good tower damage in though, especially for the first wagon, especially for an offlane tier 1 tower. Less than half HP already. So we'll see if Black and Yellow, they probably won't, but it is maybe a tempting target now for maybe not a first tower, pardon me, but perhaps an earlier push to just remove all the tier 1s and kind of threaten the map space that Luna has to farm. Not going to be the highest priority, but I think something that Black and Yellow could look for, considering I do think their early fights are much stronger, especially when Monster hits level 6 as he goes down bot lane now. Oh, almost getting the kill there onto Wage. Big wand though, we'll save him. Now the TP, I think that's the Invoker. Has no urn charge. Oh, 2 urn charges, pardon me. So they throw the first of 2 now on the Monster with the cold snap. Out of mana, out of life, and out of time. Monster will die.
Ha! Regeneration!
Yeah, as you were saying, the early game for Black and Yellow is a bit stronger, but they have to wait till the heroes get online and they kind of bunch up. They're much better when they fight together. The team fight's really good, I think, around minute 10-12 when the Undying wants to go and bunch up with everyone else. But until then, these skirmishes, they have to be a bit careful. They're not free, for sure. braxiee comes to the mid lane. No Tombstone, though, so it's just for a D-ward. Tornado EMP as well, Torrent to protect braxiee, but he's in caught by the EMP. No longer is braxiee useful. In fact, braxiee might even die. They go for the squirrel though, and P1 sees the opportunity. DK, 1 for the squirrel. Sanctified avoids the hit here, and even with a Tidebringer cleave, he's not going to die. So Sanctified will be fine. If he didn't avoid that hit, he would have died though. So, you know, that 1 level in Scurry, really important.
That was a very low roll as well. 15% chance for him to avoid that auto attack with Scurry level 1. Not the biggest thing. You don't buy MKB to get through Scurry, right? Like you certainly don't. So I think P1's going to be a little bit upset that he missed that he rolled that low. But such is life when you play a game that's got some RNG in it. Bottom, Wage is all alone as well. Monster starting to farm very comfortably under tower.
Monster, Sanking, winning your lane, you're like, what do I do now? Usually I would just go top. I would lose my lane, go top, and then defend the lane, but now instead I have to push, and I'm not very good at that, so... Sanking is in a bit of a dilemma. He's going to be farming his Blink Dagger, playing with a double bracer build, so he knew that he was going to go for this tower early, even though, like, I don't think they're going to be going to push it. Top lane, Volt. Does use the Arena Blood. braxiee is the kill, actually, thanks to the Tornado and the rotation from the Invoker. And with the MP, they also put CarJua in a difficult position. Still has the Magic Stick, though. He wants to go back for the Squirrel, but Sanctified gets away in time. He acknowledges that Magic Stick and respects the CK stun.
Yeah, but the tower's being pushed mid. And
Bo? Oh, CarJua's actually gonna go for a solo kill. That was a bit too hasty. They have the cold step available 1 second. CarJua with the urn still on top of him. Here comes braxiee to protect him, and braxiee will manage to get a counter kill onto Bo. CarJua gave him enough time to secure this, as they also see RL. They hit the X-Marker spot. Now the ghost ship. Bravo's good. Got RL in trouble. Torrent hits as well. RL has a massive amount of healing, but nothing that P1 cannot cleave right through.
Yeah, Sanctified will scurry away into the trees, and well, perhaps this is what I mean. Now P1 is actually going to push this tower. He was making a really good push towards the mid lane, even without the wagon, and instead decides to TP top and continue fighting with his core. That is a TP back now from the Mars. Arena Blood in 25 more seconds. P1 just gets in a little bit more damage to the tier 1 tower. Very dangerously low. But he's going to be forced back towards mid because rayy is starting to push with the DD rune as well. He pushes mighty fast. Level 3 Nether Blast already. Try and get through the wagon, but it's, yeah, they're going to have to actually deny the tier 1 tower. So black and yellow are actually going to lose their mid tower first.
I think it's kind of inevitable if you're black and yellow that you're going to lose the tier 1s because Pugna's just so good at pushing them without having to commit. So that's why I like your plan of them trying to do the same, right? Because at least if you can't defend them, but you can at least equalize them. So I wouldn't have minded if CK tried to take the tier 1 offlane as well. It's almost done, actually. But black and yellow's priority should now be to take the tier 1 mid. Same with top. Like, I don't know if it's worth Monster's time, to be honest, to go top and defend like a Sanking usually would. Because all Pugna needs to do is stand near the tower and hit it once in a while. And then you can't do much unless you jump on the Pugna, in which case they can just bait out, right? Now we're seeing stacks, by the way, being taken by both teams, except one team has a Luna and the other team has a CK. And CarJua is realizing this wasn't the best plan. This is taking forever. Why? Why did they do this to him? What? Why is he taking the stacks? Where's Gonka? Oh, he's taking the Ancients.
No one defending, well, someone defending top now is going to be the Undying. Of course, he can't really do much versus the Pugna. Unless he gets way too many decay stacks up.
Yeah, but he's here to have experience more than defend. Here to be able to get that.
Level 7 for him. All right, max Tombstone, he's pretty happy. He's a happy sailor.
Yeah, but second level on Soul would be really nice to be able to kill the Tombstone. To be able to survive. Kill the Tombstone. That's Monster. And he gets speared against the Arena. There's the MP that hits as well. And with the Duster, gonna be able to see him the whole time. He's not going anywhere. P1 walks up to the high ground, realizes the high ground's a dangerous place to walk up to, and retreats promptly. Good choice.
Yeah, not a whole lot of team fight remaining in the tank for 5MANMIDAS, so just a simple little Tornado to disengage was perfect out from RRL. Having a pretty strong game already now with a full vessel online. Not for the mid lane Invoker. We'll see what he decides to build into next. I don't think we're going to see the Midas anymore. I think that build has kind of fallen off a little bit, Midas into Ags, unless you have like maybe a Faceless Void, like some guaranteed sort of setup for that Cataclysm. Most Invokers I'm seeing now will dabble into an Orchid, maybe a BOTs, just for a little bit more of a utility out of the mid lane Invoker, and not so much look to scale immediately into Exort.
Mars has been 100-0, by the way, in the bottom lane with a combination of Sanking and Skyreth Mage. And yeah, I've seen that too as well. I think that this lineup though is a pretty good lineup for the Cataclysm. Back, you have the Spear as well, 2 setups, both pretty good. They can catch multiple heroes, assuming you go for the Shard Spear eventually. I wouldn't mind if you went for that build either. I don't think Orchid is that value here either. P1 trying to push the mid lane tower, only Invoker to defend it for now. The rest of the TPs are coming, but a smoke from black and yellow. Oh, okay. I swear he's a good sanking. He misses the burst right to the RL. Got silenced. There's a tombstone. And that means it's difficult for them to counter initiate, but Mark will do so anyway. Try to kill off Monster. He does succeed. That tombstone is surviving for now. They need to heal it up though. Is about to die. The zombies are gone, but Vol might leave with them as the silenced Luna joins the fray. She has enough damage to use with the Mask of Madness because she's already silenced anyway. Wage gets the kill onto GodZ. And now P1 tries to retreat, but the squirrel stops it. The BKB wasted. braxiee desperately going for that tower, which gets denied right after he dies. Oh, black and yellow. What a disaster that was for them.
Yeah, not too great of a fight for them. The Luna able to show up, of course, naturally TP into her tier 1 tower. Really just no choice for CK, right? That's the power that Pugna provides. As the top tower is going to drop, I believe, just 2 illusions. Nope, it's denied as well, actually, by Invoker, pardon me. So CK just unable to really have the same amount of impact, unfortunately, for him in this early game, despite having a pretty nice early fighting builds. Power Treads, Armlet, of course, as every single game, basically, on CK. And now Echo Saber.
Yeah.
That's kind of a luxury item, this Echo. So yeah, he's had a good start and still is quite well off here in terms of net worth, but really putting it to use here in terms of looking for any fights. Luna already with her full Manta on... No, not full Manta, that was just an illusion rune, pardon me.
If Echo's like an early game luxury item, which is kind of an oxymoron. Most CKs won't go for this. It's good for fighting early. It does help you farm, so it's not like you have to fight immediately as opposed to like a PK, where you really want to utilize that. So at least they're managing to get some farm beating the Luna still. It's not that big a deal. They got the squirrel now again. Goodbye to Hoodwink.
Yeah, good amounts of mixed damage for black and yellow means that the decrep save is not too high value this game, unfortunately, for Ray. It's really good if you're getting jumped by the CK and maybe even the Kunkka, but again, even Kunkka with some mixed damage. As he's going to drop a boat now into the mid lane. Spear is going to whip. P1 BKB anyway, but there's going to be the life train. Even just level 1 is going to dissuade P1 from going any further. Very aggressive play by P1.
I think that's a good BKB though, because otherwise they used the clips there, right? Otherwise, I think he dies to the clips. Also, I think he just got PTSD from the earlier fight.
Monster misses another Burrow Strike, unfortunately.
This time it was less of a miss and more of not enough range.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Please, Monster, don't do me dirty like this.
I'd still call that a miss, considering he was, you know, you could cancel that epi at any time, right? He had vision on Invoker.
He was hopeful. Are you gonna attack an NA player for being hopeful of all things, right? But once again, they're going up to the high ground. Actually dropped a tombstone here, so that means they want to fight, but no BKB on Kunkka because he used it earlier. braxiee, Monster's gonna die here. In comes Monster, does not deny the tombstone. Monster uses the Yold, which sets up perfectly for the sharpshooter, and that's gonna be Monster dead, and the spear sends back P1. P1 also in trouble. He used the Ice Wall. P1, again, no BKB for this Kunkka because he used it earlier to prevent his own death, which is fine, but then went back in without the BKB, which makes you question, why do you buy the BKB?
And they seem to be punished for that, because 5MANMIDAS now, they have basically all their ultis back up quite shortly. Mars just 20 more seconds here, or 10 more seconds, pardon me, on the arena. Another 45 for the Eclipse, but Invoker's going to have all of his spells at the ready, and Vol's going to just... Okay, he thought about trying to solo Roche, and then he's like, actually, this is really hard. And then he's not going to do it, because he's going to go for a kill. Agent Seal will prevent, at the very least, the Spear from coming through immediately. A zoning Mystic Flare for GodZ is not going to save him. Monster counter-initiating here. It's almost swept up by that Tornado. Pugna is going to be killed somewhere else on the map by CarJua. That was down bottom. But Vol is going to live here. Black and yellow fighting underneath their ward at least will expel the jungle invaders.
It's odd. I think the early game should still, like, it's black and yellow favored, as in they have the better squad for the early game, and they are securing a fair amount of farm on CarJua, which has not joined a single fight yet. But I do feel like these team fights are kind of unnecessary. That said, if I'm looking at the net worth, the Kunkka is still staying pretty high up, Monster as well, so I don't think they're concerned about this. It's not like they've fallen off at all. But I do feel like they're getting a lot of free team fights on 5MANMIDAS, covering them ever slightly. And once the Luna hits her timing, then I do think 5MANMIDAS will have a bit of an edge. They do have a really good pro Luna lineup. RL going for the BKB, so that kind of mixed bag Invoker where he's more leaning towards the utility. This game, Alacrity is the most important spell on Invoker, honestly, so prioritizing that would be a good idea. A Solar Crest would not be bad either. Hoodwink could consider that later. But Sanctified is currently just going for the 8th.
Yeah, the one issue with Pugna 5 is that he does take a lot of farm from his cores, because naturally when you have a hero like this that excels at farming waves, that's kind of what you want to have them do, right? You don't keep them in the jungle, you don't take the safe farm and force your cores to farm dangerously, you kind of send them out. That's kind of normally what an offlaner does as well. So Vol's farm is starting to take a little bit of a hit. Again, he didn't have a terrible lane either, especially because his matchup was quite difficult and he did take 2 early deaths. Not his fault. It's just a very difficult lane against the Undying CK. But his farm is starting to suffer now. He's pretty far from this BKB, and again, he's not getting any of this farm. He just has to watch Luna get it.
Yeah, that's true. That leads to... I mean, can you play a farm-starved Mars? I think once he gets BKB, it doesn't matter as much. But
yeah,
he needs to get that.
It's just going to be a little slow, and that's not that big of a deal because you just need to jump it first. But no one, well, you've got the squirrel to provide vision. I think it would be a lot harder if you had a different support duo. If you had like, I don't know, what's a support that doesn't give vision? Maybe Lion and Shaman or something like that. Like 2 supports that don't want to be the first in. Hoodwink is like, whatever, you know, I'll scurry around the team fight, plant a tree, and then Mars can jump in on that, at least knowing something. Because I don't think 5MANMIDAS should, nor do I think they will wait now that they have the second BKB completed for RRL. If he lets his courier catch him, that is. Well, there we go.
We're gonna Roche now. There's the Lacardale I was talking about for the loadout. Aegis tapping on the same time as she's got Dragonlance, BKB, Mask of Madness. It's okay-ish. Oh, they decided not to do that actually. Good call, because the smoke was coming and this Roche was definitely not going to be completed this time.
Yep, they've done well to deward the high ground as well, so this is not a trivial fight for Black and Yellow to find, even if they have enemies on their own jungle high ground. So they're going to make the smart move and move into the enemy triangle, which is maybe even the better high ground to hold, especially because you have dispatch of that top and mid lane tier 1 tower for Radiant.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Midas, they'd really like to now take control of the outpost, which means destroying this tier 2 tower. Luckily, they've got a wave properly positioned, and a Luna. So down it goes.
Top tower has fallen.
Now things get a little bit spicier for Black and Yellow. So they can no longer buy back in the fights and rather quickly get back into them here with TP into the outpost. Clear from 5MANMIDAS. Black and Yellow do at least destroy a mid tier 2 tower. We'll get in the tiniest amount of chip damage here. Tier 3s. But into the Roach Pit, go 5MANMIDAS.
You know what they say, if at the first you don't succeed, do it again. Exactly the same. And that's the same model for Black and Yellow, which gives you the same thing again. Once again, they're leaving CarJua behind, but I think their 4 Protect 1 is strong enough. And they haven't realized that the Roach gets completed. Wage already has that Aegis. It becomes a really tough fight, especially when you're carry, but the carry TPs to the tier 2, and now they actually burst down Vol. Monster dies at the same time, though, so it's going to be offlaner for offlaner. Who's going to be stronger out of the 2 carries? Probably the one with 2 lives. As Hoodwink. It's gone now with a concussive shot. Still has an opportunity to go for the bushwhack. Needs to bushwhack, and the Eclipse actually destroys CarJua. A chance to activate his BKB, and he does get it off, but Luna's physical damage too high. P1 manages to at least BKB TP back home. On Wage, he wants more. He wants God Z. God Z reveals his position with concussive shot, which gives a chase for RRL, a chance. But this Skyrath Mage is too fast. RL closing in. He gets him. Gold Snap. Spirit Vessel. EMP. RL's committing for this. His team has faltered. For RL, he has the soul of a warrior, and he gets the kill on the bird. Great job, RL. Now realizing warriors usually didn't get out of bounds alive. Oh no, what's happening now? 4 people are surrounding him. Wage, a secondary warrior of this team, joins his mid laner. Here comes the Hoodwink. They're slowly joining up. But oh no, the Hoodwink walked into an epicenter. That's the worst thing to walk into. Hoodwink almost dies. RL is actually the first to fall. And Wage instead decides to attack the tombstone as he just destroyed 2 of the enemy team heroes. Godzi once again. He's back. He's back on the run. Oh, Godzi's dead. Godzi's fried chicken. He's gone.
He's got no armor. Luna's got a Crystallis. So even just one little crit there is going to nuke him down. Black and Yellow quickly losing the plot here. I'm not sure why they decide to run up to high ground like that. Absolutely no vision. Again, Radiant Triangle is still quite fortified. The triangles aren't as OP as they really used to be. Okay, they're going to try and nuke through Luna, and they might just get her on her first life. Indeed, they do. Monster assisting with the stun there. The old Scepter is going to be quite annoying. Bushwhack not going to find him as he blinks in time. That's at least Aegis removed from Wage.
And
all right.
Monster lived. Considering how the last team fights went, it's kind of a miracle, right? I think we did see in that team fight though that it's not so much that one carry stronger than the other, is that whoever has high ground wins the fight, which, you know, pretty normal.
Yeah, Star Wars taught us that.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe both teams should try to take the fight in the right position, because it's clear to me that both teams have enough burst that whoever they catch first will die. Even if it's Conquer or CK, which are relatively tanky heroes, they will die if the Eclipse get used on them entirely. And in the case of 5MANMIDAS, if Luna doesn't activate BKB in time, a Mystic Flare will 100% 100-0, right? So need to consider that. There's the Undying, Tornado, braxiee. I think braxiee will also fall. Actually, leave it to the Sunstruck.
Cool guys don't look at explosions. No.
Mars did look at it though, so he's the uncool guy of the team,
Yeah.
but he's Canadian, so it makes.
RL didn't do it. You want? Big ol' cleave. Nukes to the wave. Very nice.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Wage is back to hitting the tier 2 tower. That didn't go well for him last time, but now that Undying's dead, he's feeling a bit more confident. Location is used. There's a bit of healing, and there goes Wage attacking even faster now. Phantasm is activated though. CarJua could potentially look for a little bit of action, but no, I think it's just a farming Phantasm.
Hype cast the Alacrity casting. That's the part. He does attack faster when Alacrity's put it in. And wait, Alacrity is about to come off cooldown, and he can do it again, which is
Yes, he can.
very exciting. Gutsy? Yeah, he is invisible. How did he manage to get the invis rune? Did he just go all the way to the ruins and then come back to the tower?
Wait, did he get hit by the tornado?
Yeah.
Why is he still invis?
That's what I thought too, but that's actually indispellable. I checked it in the lobby a long time ago. At least the basic dispel does not work against.
Interesting.
Which is
Doesn't
wild.
seem right.
Tornado dispels Glimmer Cape, right?
Yep. Dispels Glimmer, dispels double damage, dispels Arcane.
Huh? It dispels every other rune except for invis. I don't know why. I actually did check this in the lobby a while back because I saw this in a game, and I thought, is this a consistent interaction? And it is. Wage now attacking faster, but it's a top tower monster this time. Like hits the KO4 on top of that, but they are missing Mystic Flare. There's the Mystic Flare. And once again, Richie, it's the story of the high ground. Rayy will be the second to die. Glimmer Cape doesn't activate in time. They even dusted the Invoker, I believe they do. They need someone to stop him. That's gonna be Monster. Oh, Monster. He got him.
Oh, jeez.
He almost didn't get him, but he got him. And he forced RL to use the BKB and TP.
You're really like this Monster Saiyan King, huh? Are you okay over there?
I am really worried that every time I mention his name, he's gonna make a misplay. So I'm trying to be conservative about him. I really like him, dude, but he's not had the best performance yet.
Black and yellow. Really, both NA teams here today are just very excited for the upcoming release of the Kenobi show, and are reacting to his most famous line of dialogue, Obi-Wan Kenobi from Episode 3. Revenge of the Sith, I think it's called. I always forget, even though I can quote half the lines from the movie. It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! Yeah. They're making one.
Is that a new anime?
Yeah, I think it's live action, actually. Your favorite Scottish actor's going to be in it. He was also in Trainspotting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's the first time I'm gonna watch Star Wars.
Hey, they're bringing it back. Yeah, he's really good as well. Hopefully they do a decent job.
Trainspotting is really good as well, and so is Trainspotting too. If anyone's ever wanted to watch some Scottish movies.
Yep.
Oh, they got Monster again. I didn't say his name this time though, so he's gonna live.
Well, has BKB now. Fresh BKB, that'll allow him to live at least through the Mystic Flares. CarJua is now joining the fight. Has a BKB, but just gonna chill inside the arena of blood. Now he's gonna chill to the walls. Bushwhack as well, it's great damage. Bull jumps in, but he's decrepified and still alive. 2-second stun, a life drain. Kiting out P1 as he now will BKB. He's gonna attempt to TP away in the face of 3 enemy heroes. He's disarmed the important one, so they cannot use that Alacrity to get through his TP. He'll be allowed to live.
That was clutch. That was really good. But also a fantastic life drain. And Vol really showing up in the last fight. Kills Godzilla as well, just the little cherry on top. But that arena, now he played it, was really clever. He pushed him back by just making the arena, like, it was really difficult for 5MANMIDAS to stay in the high ground, not hit the walls. And then constantly God's rebuked them, keeping the spear towards the very end to maximize that stun time together with the hoodwink Bushwhack, because that was on cooldown at the beginning of the arena. So very well done there by Vol, honestly. Very impressive Mars.
Can you still deny yourself as Pugna if you life drain a teammate and then just don't stop? That used to work.
I think you can actually. Yeah.
I think you can. I think I've said before when they removed the Techie's blast off that yeah, it's been forever that's worked. So I imagine it still does because I don't think they adjusted life drain other than allowing you to cast Decrypt during it. But I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think this is still the only hero that can deny himself. Pudge, Abba removed long ago.
Yeah.
Quite recently, Techies.
Radiant's
Elf can't
bottom
either.
tower is under attack.
Oh really? Okay.
By the way, on the
On train spotting?
yes, no. The Pug, I think the thing about the life drain that we didn't really mention earlier, but one thing that people should really note about being a support is that Pug's life drain works really weirdly with allies, where if they have full HP, they will start regaining mana from life drain, which is actually why this spell is kind of broken. Like, you're essentially a mana battery that doesn't cost any of your mana, because you don't lose mana when you're giving a really weird interaction. So, I think we're going to get to see it in play a little bit later. But especially with the Invoker, is particularly powerful, or even with a Luna later on. Start spamming the Lucent.
Step lively now.
Yeah, Black and Yellow don't have any like really casual stuns. They have the Silence on Ancient Seal, and they have Torrent and X and Boat on Kunkka. But those are, although you don't really see Kunkka combos this late in the game, you do want to save those for kind of bigger targets than just raise Pugna. So he's getting off some like almost full duration life drains in the middle of these fights. Has not gone for Aether Lens, quite curiously enough. Finally has it queued up. As they found the Invoker.
Nice. Against all this overwhelming damage, best thing you can do is build an A on disc. There's the BKBs activated by everyone. Wage activates his own as well. Starts the Eclipse, holding on to the Wage. He's gonna die before the BKB even ends. That means no Eclipse for this team fight. Epicenter's also been committed. Goes up to the high ground. This time a two-man burrow, but Vol comes in with the Arena and the BKB. He managed to kill off nobody just yet. Vol's actually on the retreat. Monster at least dies towards the very end of that fight.
Luna's back. TP to the outpost.
Back, but P1's dead. braxiee as well. Luna has the opportunity to kill CarJua, get his revenge. Lucent Beam. Oh, Sunstrike! That is an impressive Sunstrike by RL.
Yeah, and that's going to be 5MANMIDAS winning that fight handedly then. Unfortunately, they would have loved to take Roche immediately after just to kind of get that second life back on Luna now that she did expend it. They're going to have to wait another minute and 5 seconds. Everyone will be back up from Black and Yellow by then. Looks like they're likely to be down at least one lane of barracks, as 5MANMIDAS will go up to the high ground after that fight. Oh, Sanctified took the Hoodwink shard. It's very goofy, this thing. You can control this illusion, and if anyone attacks it or targets it with a spell, it shoots a lesser bushwhack.
But if you hit it with an area spell, it does not shoot that.
Yeah. I think it does if you kill it.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure actually. Wage has the BKB, but doesn't activate the Invisible Mystic Flare. Almost kills him. The tower also helps. Life drain as well.
Yeah, but Ray doesn't have
just do it once. Let's deny yourself to see if it's...
He doesn't have... I'm giving it everything she's got, Captain! But he doesn't have that much to give, so he's going to have to TP away.
Yep. I mean, he's going to get the life drain heal afterwards, which does work on your allies. Cool. I think you should probably... And the reason, by the way, he doesn't go for Aether Lens is I honestly think that if you go for a Pugna 5, it's fine to go for Aether Lens in certain games where you can have more impact, but when you're fully saved, like this game, like you are not there for the push whatsoever, right? You're there to set up Nether Ward and reverse suck your carry. And I think that in this situation, it's much better to go for all this save on top of that. You know, the Force Step, the Glimmer Cape, Lotus Orb. You do a lot of the same thing. And that way, the enemy team is kind of forced to kill you in the beginning of the fight. And since Pugna has a lot of survivability now because of all these items, it's much harder, right, to Black and Yellow to initiate fights. Monster stuns himself, he gets bushwhacked, life drained to death, and that's Monster gone. Oh, comes out, hit God Z with that spear. Hit braxiee because it's the shark spear. Okay, makes sense. And the bushwhack will also stop braxiee. Nice deafening blast, making sure Vol doesn't just die just yet. Glimmer Cape as well. Vol is surviving, but Wage is taking a beating here by CarJua, who will TP in the middle of this, and he's gonna be stopped immediately by the cold snap. That BKB was miscalculated. He took a second too long to TP. Black and Yellow will lose 3, potentially 4, as braxiee is going to try to TP. RL does not detect him in time.
I think that's just the game, to be honest. I don't have Tombstone. They're playing against Luna. That's basically freely up to their high ground now because there's mid and top lane both shoving in. I don't see how they really boot the invaders now. They'll have the Sand King back in 30, but RL with a nice play because he basically prevents P1 from joining that fight with proper timing after he harasses the crap out of a bottom lane. Really no chance there for the Kunkka to get early on in that fight like he needed to be. Now with an Aegis still on Wage, And of course the alacrity buff. This is going to be a very, very quick ending. Seems like for black and yellow, as one of 2 tier 4s is down. There's the second, the Owen exposed. P1 tossing in spells, tossing in the disarms, doing what he can. Tombstone at least is going to come back off cooldown, but this is still something that they can hit while still hitting the Ancients. There's the first life gone, but the boat's going to just hit haplessly. BKB for Monsters. He does land a nice 2-man stun. They might be able to get Bull off of this. Yule Scepter is good for Wage, who is now starting to get some damage in on the throne, but the Torrent is going to be mighty annoying. Sandstorm holding her down here for a bit longer as they're trying to get around the fight here to eliminate Luna's team. They have at least forced back 5MANMIDAS. Okay, well done. Good hold.
Well done indeed. That said, they still lost both their tier 4s and they still had to use a fair amount of buybacks, but at least to gain some more time to potentially recover this game. I still think that obviously 5MANMIDAS has this pretty much locked, and well, considering how this game has gone, it could be anyone's game. In a normal game, I'd say that Midas pretty much has this, because all they need to do is win one more fight and they got this. And Luna's still in her strong peak, right? CK still will take another 5 minutes to completely surpass the Luna. Also, her build on the data list was a really clever one to be able to burst on CK even further. Makes it harder for the BKBs to be impactful from black and yellow, makes it so there's a dead item essentially on every single hero, and makes the burst potential of 5MANMIDAS shines even brighter.
Yeah, if this AC can get online, I think that's actually kind of a big deal. It's going to help the CK live a lot longer versus those crits. Especially because he does now have Eye of Scotty. He's incredibly tanky, 4,300 HP. You give this man decent armor, he'll repay the favor. As well, unable to do that is going to be braxiee and now braxiee, both finished off here by the movements of 5MANMIDAS, as they will play it clean and push through the bottom lane to potentially get the Megas.
By the way, Chaz confirmed that Pugna can still deny himself. Also, my favorite is someone said, "It happens, I've done it." And we all know that you didn't do it on purpose. Thank you, though, for confirming that for us.
I mean, I've done it before as well.
And not on purpose.
Usually it's on purpose. You know, it's
okay.
you're in the enemy high ground. You gotta
like,
give it your all for your
anyway.
team.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna just extinguish myself.
I don't want to give any experience. Luna 25 talents has taken
I'm gonna blow till the day I die.
Mini stun, or as you call it, reverse suck.
Yeah, well, you know. That is blowing, right? If you look at the source, it would not give you the antonym of sucking.
I don't know. Assume so. I have a feeling that there's some like physics terms between sucking and blowing that are a little bit different.
What's interesting is you look at the source. If that's the case, they're both synonyms and antonyms. What's very interesting.
Radiant's middle tower.
Well, I guess it depends. Yeah, in which context, right? Because the Zoomers could say this blows.
Yes, which also means this sucks. Exactly.
Sucks.
You got exactly what I was going for. On point, Richie.
Yeah, well, we've been in through. Yeah, well, I know you've been watching today. There's a DD run for CarJua. Only for a couple more seconds, though, and of course the Invoker can dispel that immediately. Looks like this is going to pan out immediately into the dream fight that black and yellow wanted. 5MANMIDAS actually playing it super patiently, very clean. Just fight around a ward, boys.
I love that they're just like, all right, guys, we're out. What do we do now? The smoke failed. We haven't found anyone. Oh no! Oh, they're bottom. Okay. Let's reconvene. Let's show our smoke. We go back to the high ground and we try again.
Pretty much. Definitely weren't expecting that really awkward place as well for 5MANMIDAS to be holding. A lot of teams will do that in the triangle ward spots, so we might be fighting now.
There's an arena Bull. Bull just chasing down the monster. Okay, sharpshooter misses, so that's one spell down.
There's bushwhack too. Sort of cooldown. Monster going in.
Yeah, they have the
good
arena,
damage.
but I think Rage
They got Luna.
And she has no buyback. It's a really solid chance. They prevent the Invoker. They tried to, but he has the BKB, so he's gonna be fine. And so we'll...
Monster hits him.
Hits him once. Everyone in 5MANMIDAS except for the Luna will be able to make out of here alive. But Luna has no buyback there, so that's a pretty big deal. Can they do something with this? CarJua? Oh, he doesn't have the cleave talent anymore, it's true. I wonder if you consider going for a Battle Fury late, just so you can actually push up faster. If this goes to Megas, I don't think you have enough of a push here. I don't know if that's really worth it. You kind of need to beat the Luna.
I think it's a little bit... I struggle to see a scenario in which 5MANMIDAS get Megas and don't finish the game, though, to be honest. With a Luna, I don't know. Maybe your money is better spent on something else. What's he got in the quick buys? It still is nullifier. For now, 5MANMIDAS struggling to close out this game. 11k and a half worth lead, and Luna does now have buyback yet again. Seems like a couple of bounties picked up. Hard going to do that for her. Monster keeping chase. He's gonna miss the stun on the creep wave. Not gonna miss all that damage. See of it with the sandstorm.
Can make that. Heal himself. Roll. Has Blink Dagger in 1 second. Great, maybe bushwhack first. More secure. Okay. That's not gonna happen. I think he actually missed the bushwhack as well.
He did miss the bushwhack. That's right.
I hear when I miss my bushwhack. It's so annoying.
Oh my god. I was like, I missed my bushwhack. This blows.
Or shucks, as some people say. Anyway.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'm surprised he missed the bushwhack there. I would have initiated with bushwhack, but when he was closer to trees, probably. Because bushwhack is a very slow spell.
Radiant's
So,
middle
like the
tower
projectile,
is
mind you,
under
is very
attack.
slow. So it's actually, tanking could usually avoid that with a Yolt.
Yep. Well, I'm very surprised. Yeah, I think Monster maybe even thought he was going to end up dying there. But no, bushwhack is going to miss.
Radiant's top tower
The
is
A-OK.
under attack.
Pushing us slightly precarious now is IRL, as invokers are wont to do. He's gonna he's going pretty deep. This is a little haphazard by him. There's a fight kind of breaking out back here. Vol could look to catch someone as it's going to be the Kunkka caught inside his arena of blood. Doesn't land the spear though, so the BKB is going to lead him away to safety.
Dire's bottom tower
Invoker still on the high ground, has dispatched up one of the tier 4s. He's getting himself Alacrity now. That's going to trigger more TPs now out from black and yellow. Can they cancel any of these? Yes. They've at least stopped braxiee from TPing back. And Invoker is easily going to be able to get off the high ground. It is going to be a successful move there for the 5MANMIDAS lineup.
Yeah. The only person that could really stop this push, well, you have two people. It's the Sanking and the Kunkka, right? But Kunkka didn't go for travels yet. He still has the phase boots in his inventory. And Sanking, you baited out his travel TP, which means that Invoker's is kind of free to split push. And they have a little bit more mobile lineup just because of Invoker's movement speed alone and his natural pushing power. And Invoker, who, by the way, went for the full buffing build, which I love, with a Soul Crest, which gives Luna a little bit more time here. The team fight from Black and Yellow still not looking amazing though. They kind of need a little bit more catch build on the other cores, but Sanking has kind of fallen off, unfortunately. Usually by this point, Sanking would get an extra ride, and even the shard would help a little bit just to have some area damage to kill the supports, but they just don't have it. Monster just kind of fell off, and he's been killed too often in the team fight.
Solar Crest, Alacrity, the wagon. This wagon,
Yeah.
gonna win him the game. There it is. They just have now finally to do it. Yeah, it's definitely a strat worth doing. If you can double the attack speed, triple the attack speed, triple the damage on a wagon, yeah, that thing hits very hard. Back in the good old days when you could enchant and holy persuade wagons, it was a strat to just run around with 4 wagons. So you could collect them. But playing full, forced to BKB. This player was doing a number. Thought well as well, would have threatened to do an even bigger number. Reality Rift at 20, pierces spell immunity, quickly approaching this 25 talent.
Mine.
Probably going to see the Phantasm duration. Usually that's what I see CKs go for.
What need have I for this?
And this is Roshan number 3, with an Axe Blessing up, ready to be taken. Seems like 5MANMIDAS will go ahead and kick that off now. Harpy Scout, who's got the Invoker?
Hoodwink.
Who?
Hoodwink.
Hoodwink, thank you.
Okay, so they have that. They have the Arena Blood still, but silent stuff is Mars. Doesn't activate the BKB on... Oh,
Didn't have it.
actually. Okay, Wage gets
Roche
stunned
bash.
by the Roche here. He still needs to steal ult. And Yul sends him flying. So P1 takes it. There's the Arena finally. We're looking for Vol. But Vol's Arena is right after he's lost the Roche here, which is a really big deal. As he grabs his wait for a couple of seconds, but eventually CK can just mow him down. He's been disarmed and destroyed. Rayy also gets brought down in a matter of seconds, and P1 going for RL. They actually stand a chance here. Vol setting a line of fire. Don't cross this line. Black and Yell does not respect this, but they do get bushwhacked as a result. And nothing will happen after that. Only Luna die, a couple of buybacks there. Particularly Vol's is a very important one because you kill him once more and the team fight's done for 5MANMIDAS.
Great fight by Black and Yellow. They have gotten themselves back in this game. Cheese was also claimed by them. I did not see who took the Ag Shard. There is a refresher online, actually. They needed to send someone back.
RL?
RL? He's...
RL?
Not BKB. He's just gonna die. Okay, Ancient's under attack, but Monster's here to take care of it. Don't worry. I think we might see a base race here.
No, Monster can defend solo, I think. Tanking might not be the best at pushing, but he must be able to defend.
Not versus a Luna, he can't, though.
All right, if Luna decides to... Well, he can stun her once.
Can stun her once, maybe.
His Yules was actually what won in that fight, though. So,
Very true.
That was a big Yules.
This is going to be a little bit of a spicy ending to this one, I predict.
As I said, you know, you never can really determine who's going to... It's kind of dependent on where they fight. Like, yeah, we can analyze the draft. There's a lot of points to be made there, but you guys have seen it depends on who initiates on whom, and on top of that, where they're positioned in that fight, because it's just been hectic and all over the place.
Okay, it's actually the Chaos Strike chance instead of the Phantasm Illusion Duration.
Makes sense. With the Luna and Mars in general, they can clear your illusions relatively quickly, whereas the Chaos Strike chance allows you to utilize them base CK a bit more.
Okay.
That's
Big base race, trying to at least secure the Megas. It's going to turn the TP back from Godzilla. Bowl activating his own BKB. Ronan is taking a little bit of damage, but don't worry, it's just one melee creep. Bowl will TP away. No, OTD canceled by the perfect of Monster, and Godzilla, he's going to live. Bigger creep wave is back. He's okay. Black and Yellow can still defend. Don't worry about the narrator. It's okay.
That is not good though. You just lost the Mars for 120 seconds, and they know this as well. They don't have him. So as long as they play with the Aegis and they just force this, you have so many travel boots. Monster even has the level 2 travel boots now to be able to TP to heroes. The Scarith Mage, Godsea, just walk forward at this point. Go meet CarJua in the middle. The lack of Mars, I don't know if that's enough for them to initiate though, because they're missing the Sanking too.
They actually buffed bots too, by the way. It reduces your channel TP by 1 second. Okay, CarJua might just die. Okay, he's just dead.
I'll have your
Yeah, that's a tip by Vol as well, who's the other guy who did the same thing, by the way. What do you mean they reduced by 1 second, did you say?
Yep. Huh? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's kind of a big deal.
Oh, channel time. Sorry, I thought it was cooldown for a second. Right.
No.
Channel
TP
time is a big deal. No, I agree. That's very big deal.
I'll take your tribute.
So yeah, pretty big deal. The bots used to be. Oh, hold on. I'm fighting. Okay. Can they? Nope, I can't nuke her.
BKB and Daedalus. Godsea. Ghost after working in his favor, but they hit him with a bushwhack this time. And thanks to the Sunstrike, he's dead. Tombstone gonna fall in a matter of seconds. He's gonna be late for Tombstone to be impactful. Definitely left. C1. Oh, Wage! He is gonna be bursted down this time thanks to the Torrent Storm. So Black and Yellow can hold their own even without the carry. Luna does have buyback.
Unbelievable, this game.
Unbelievable. Force Strike, Aeon is triggered for RL. RL thinking of going against Monster, but he dispels everything with Lotus Orb. Monster is going to be safe for now. Very fast little Sanking with a Travel Boots level 2.
That's the second time this Kunkka's Water Park has really made the difference in a team fight. So P1 did definitely secure that Axe Blessing from the Roche fight, Roche number 3. So he took all the bounty, as a good pirate is wont to do. For now, 5MANMIDAS still thinking about maybe trying to make a play for these bottom barracks as they erect a couple of observer wards actually over the triangle area. 10 seconds until the CK is back. Luna does have buyback, but without BOT, she could not quickly get back into the fight down here. Tanking. Does this still work if you're invis? Probably, right? Is Monster going to get a pushback shot at it?
I don't think so.
It doesn't. Okay. AoE damage. Oh, the wagon. Plus 112 damage. There goes.
Get him.
Like all the short films from this year, they were all about the carts for some reason.
Oh, because everyone knows that's the most important.
What does the carry truly need? A siege weapon.
True, actually. Somewhere.
Top lane, full. Monster 25 has taken the Sandstorm Slow and Blinds talent as CarJua.
What are you doing?
Okay. Going to at least throw an arena down for CarJua, and Reality Earth pierces BKB. CarJua is going to BKB as well, but he's being body blocked by his own illusions. And he's going to blink forward. There's another Reality Earth because they can ignore his Arena of Bloods because they have BKBs. And that is going to be a kill there. Okay.
Bounty.
Why?
RL going hunting. He's going to be able to dispel the Glimmer, as you said earlier, does indeed work. braxiee throws up the Tombstone. He's going to get a TP in now from Monster. 1 second reduced TP. Lots of zombies spawning in now with the double Tombstone. They're going to buy back on this, in fact, as they're hunting for more. Kunkka trying to stop anyone from TPing away, but he's going to get bushwhacked here. And instead, it's going to be one child left behind. George W. Bush rolling, even though he's still alive. He's rolling in bed. He's probably asleep.
That's right. I guess we're in NA now. So
Yeah. Yep.
are they not too young for that?
No, because this is the generation affected by no child left behind.
Oh, right. Okay. That's true. That's true. Now, picture this, Richie. Imagine in that team fight down bottom and they had Mars instead of him wandering around like a nomad, right? Well, might have been easier.
It might have been.
Now they have enough team fight. Like I was talking about the lack of team fight, black and yellow. They're making up for it. Besides the Vice down the Kunkka.
Right, Sanctified? Okay, I mean, I guess he can just scurry, right?
The Sand King also built up, is going to build up the Rolling Blink, a bit more of team fight as well. And they have a helm themselves on braxiee, which is now a mandatory late game item for supports.
Is under attack.
It's kind of huge.
Yeah, and that's that fast. That bot's 2 upgrade is kind of a big deal. He was so fast to actually TP in there. It's kind of unexpected. Okay. Just again, doesn't really care. Oh, they found the Invoker. Has a BKB, has an Aeon Disc. Of course, that Saturn Disc not going to help you versus Torrent or Yules.
Also Nullify.
And Nullifier, did they time that properly?
I didn't think so, but the Aeon Disc buff was not on him.
Top tower is under attack.
And doesn't. Nice to avoid the spear. Where's the BKB used? Well, gotta get out of the arena while the BKB lasts. Nope, he's just gonna stay there. It's cozy inside. Okay, that's fair enough. Tornado used to stop Kanappa from dealing any damage, but here comes the Sand King with his BKB still active, trying to stop RL.
Stun.
Zone BKB as well. The two carries
the bushwhack.
each other, a duel to the death. They're actually facing off finally, but Luna has a Hurricane Punch. She's a coward. She's gonna fight from the backline and she's gonna win. Monster dies, thinking that black and yellow was going in when it was in fact reading.
Spicy Sunstrike.
Your admiral is on board.
Sunstrike does not kill anyone though, so that's spicy or not.
A little spicy. Got
It's a
him as
white
well.
level of spice.
Oof, this is definitely much closer than I thought it had any right to be. I want to look at this graph. That is a graph indeed. Peaks and valleys here, Abo. Valleys. Almighty mountains. We need a little happy little tree over here.
Yeah, I mean, just another way of saying this game has been a roller coaster of plays.
Of reverse catches.
Reverse catches, that's the word. Thank you so much for that. You won. No, they actually killed him. They actually killed him thanks to the sharpshooter. That was brutal. CarJua going in, finding the Pugna, and rayy is also destroyed in exchange for Monster. It seems like, as Monster activates the BKB, Bushwick of course will miss. Luna has no way of getting closer to him, so he has to accept Monster will be able to retreat in time. Use the fake squirrel to distract them, but that's not going to work. They're not dogs.
Well gotten.
CarJua now has a casual Mage Slayer, of course, does build into the upgraded Bloodthorn these days. Do your illusions get that? I don't think so, right? Yeah, because they can't bash. So do they get like Mage Slayer?
What?
Will the CK illusions, will they proc Mage Slayer?
I don't think so, right? Oh, actually,
I have no idea, because it's not a crit, it's not a bash. I assume so, right? Because diffusal works.
Well, he would have proc. You don't proc.
Has fallen to the radiant.
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, actually. Can you imagine if you proc bash on illusions? That would be PL next.
Yeah, PL for every game forever. PL Naga Siren.
Who took the Ags, by the way? Did you see him?
Yep, Cataclysm ready to go. Might make a little bit of a difference here. With Cheese is the Mars, and Refresh is for the Luna. Double BKB, double Satanic. That means Aegis is actually on the Invoker. They're expecting this Refresher Shard to do a lot of work for the Luna, as they will look to close out the game once again by going up to the high ground. Melee Barracks fully recovered. Volt still invis. RL starting to do the damage.
They missed the first spear, but probably got Z. Still dead here. As Monster in trouble himself, activates his own BKB, so he can scuttle away. Once again, the battle of the carries. Seems like Luna holding her own for now. He still has a Satanic and of course a Refresher, but there's a Phantasm. CK using his full power on the Luna. The stuns are too powerful. Wage could still die here, but thanks to the Refresher, activates the Eclipse now with the BKB. Karakwa's forced to retreat. Karakwa can't retreat because the stuns on that Eclipse. Karakwa needs to fight to the death, and unfortunately it's going to be his.
He's got buyback.
He falls. He does have buyback, but the racks are finally dead. And the black and yellow will come back in with a vengeance, trying to avenge their buildings. And Karakwa as well, who just died. A little piggy went to the farmer's market. Little piggy got left behind. A little piggy is going to revive here with full HP and full mana. Without any sort of save, he is just going to die.
Okay, that's Megas at least. Ray might end up dying back here as well, as he is going to reflect a couple of spells. Gonna start life draining, and he actually manages to out-heal the Mystic Flare level 3. That is very impressive by the little skeleton boy. But it's still going to be Blackanyala who holds. Pretty costly defense, and only one buyback forced out from 5MANMIDAS.
That's also without the left straight heal talent, by the way.
But
with those two dead, black and yellow have probably one last chance at a push, I think. There's this one. I don't think you can do much more after that. They still have the cheese, as you mentioned, but not relevant. Oh, got a Mega. You know, here's the help of the Dominator taking a different a different use, as you can now get the Mega creeps.
Dark are scanning.
That's useful.
we'll cut the mid wave, so this is gonna have to be this one wave. They're gonna have to escort for black and yellow.
Okay. Should be okay. Well, there's the creeps near the base. They only want tier 4s at this point. They just need to run before the creeps and try to kill the Luna. I mean, they don't have any other save on the Pugna and the Invoker. And now they might also miss Sanctified. And that has been used. The Shark finally up on the CK. Beautiful bushwhack. However,
That was the lesser bushwhack. The illusions aggro to the illusion, because the illusions, they always, you know, you can't stop them from aggroing to each other, those things.
Illusions are attracted to each other like magnets.
Like magnets. They're magic.
Step lively now. Your admiral is
And they've slowed this push considerably. Sand King, of course, back to defend. I do have Hotkey set up for the base race. What is it? It's F2 for me on the Dire Throne.
Been excited about this base race for a while, but it's just gonna be one base being pummeled. They're taking turns. It's like Pokemon. And CK, and he got stuck. They have actually a second spear. The bushwhack and the stunlock in general are good, but they messed up there ever so slightly. Miscalculation by Vol. Doesn't get the second spear, which means black and yellow is capable of freeing themselves with the BKBs. Black and yellow, of course, deciding this game hasn't gone for long enough. Let's retreat.
This isn't a base race. We can't base race right now.
5 more minutes and they get 60-minute items, and then maybe they can turn this around.
It's gonna end in a base race. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how many times I need to say this, Ava.
Has been killed.
This one, we're gonna have a base race. Let's look at that high ground push.
They just killed Luna's courier with a butterfly, by the way. That was, I think that was CarJua? Yes, he did. Killed Luna's courier.
Vol, back in action.
Because he's acting like an illusion.
135 gold each for these bounties at this stage. Peaks and valleys still. Lots of peaks and valleys. Gonna make another mountain. What buyback now is Luna. Without it, crucially, is CarJua. Not for another 4 minutes and 30-odd seconds. P1 does have it here in terms of his cooldown, but he's bought out for the refresher. Truly Kunkka's Water Park. He doesn't have the slide yet. No tidal wave yet purchased. But the double Torrent Storm is going to be certainly very annoying.
Oh, the slide whistle?
Well, the slide for the tidal wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, Torrent Storm is I guess, well, what would Torrent Storm be in water parks? I don't really go to water parks.
The apocalypse, like when it all breaks and everyone starts dying in the water park. Okay. Like a massive malfunction.
That happened to you a lot in water parks?
I mean, I have this friend who's really fat. The slides really cannot take us, honestly.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Manager.
Hyde has got himself an Axe as well. Hunter's Boomerang. One of the few status resist reducing abilities in the game. 25 talents. Bushwhack
radius. Run out of
taken.
things to say to say that.
Well, hey, it's true, isn't it?
It's the only
else.
one now.
I think Bane. I can't remember. They change Enfeeble every patch.
Bane is not anymore.
Cast range, right now it is.
Yeah. No, it's cast point reduction.
And cast range, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, sorry. I think Zeus jump is the.
Mars 25 talent. He's taken the HP regen talent. I've never seen anyone take this before.
Really? I think it's
Yeah.
pretty good when you're playing. Like, I think if you're a Mars that's planning to carry the game, the God's Rebuke's super. But especially in a clanning game like this, I think the
Double damage.
wonders.
Let's got DD. We'll see where Wage decides to go with this. It might just be the jungle.
Mage Slayer does not work on CK. Just in case we still had that doubt.
Oh, okay.
Chat's so useful today, guys. You guys are like our third co-cast. You're the Merlini to our cast.
Yep. What did Immortal Faith say yesterday? Chad is my other coach, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think that's what they call other coaches usually. Hey, go call the other coach guy.
What's up, coach?
in case I'm sick, coach. Oh my god, really? Vol's just gonna initiate like that, Cataclysm, and that's gonna be enough to kill off braxiee. But they forgot about the Aeon that's a monster, which saves him completely from the Aeon. There's a second arena now for the Scarlet Mage. Kill one support, now the other. But braxiee's back. Activates a Tombstone, which I think is already done for. Yep. Doesn't have reincarnation just yet. Luna has been caught there though. First stun, second stun with a Mystic Flare. Goshen they forced up her though. That saves him the Goshen. Activates the Danik. Wait, is still alive. CarJua trying to mow her down. Here's the Eclipse. But we got a second beginning for CarJua. Illusion to mitigate some of the damage. And finally, Wage will die. CarJua, of course, forced to retreat. Go back to the base. The creeps are taking it. Don't let this game end. This game must go on forever. Don't ever let it end. Black and yellow. I want to age here. I want to have children while this game is still going on. Bull died as well. The push is unsuccessful. Black and yellow lives.
For now, as Luna has returned to the fight already, level 29. Ray pulled back in. Oh, but a Bushwhack finds the two. They're going to nuke it to the Sand King. That's a dieback for Monster. CarJua, this could be it. He's going to go down as well. 2 minutes he's dead for. And that certainly means at the 1 hour mark, this game will be over. Undying, he's going to be respawning, but the throne already down. 5MANMIDAS takes an hour to take game number 1.
He did it though.